Okay, this tutorial is on the Johnny Cash tune I Walk the Line, and the things that are demonstrated in this tutorial is firstly the alternating bass style of strumming, and the other thing is the using your fingers as pairs in chord changes. So looking at the chord changes first, it's simply that if in a D chord you've got that shape, so you've got these two fingers on the first string and the third string, and they're both at the same fret, and then you've got your third finger in there, so that's your D chord. In the A7 chord, you've got your second finger on the second string and your first finger on the fourth string, and both again at the second fret. So when you are changing chords, take advantage of that fact that you've got that sort of common shape and move those two across as a pair. So that's quite an easy change from D to A7. Okay, so it's wherever you see that, like if you're working on a new song and you're looking at the chord shapes, wherever you see shapes working together, another example would be, say, if you went from those two, so that's E7 to A minor 7, or even if it was A minor, these two fingers have the same shape, it's just that they're moving across a string. So yeah, it's a simple idea, but it makes a big difference or makes your chord changes a lot smoother if you can identify where that occurs as between any two chords, and make sure that you move those fingers as a pair. Don't move them individually. Right, you don't do that, but you do that. Okay, now looking at the strum, or the strums, for there's three chords in this tune: D, A7 and G, and it's almost a classic example of a three chord tune. The only thing that's sort of slightly different about it is the fact that it starts on A7, which is the dominant chord for this key, rather than D, which is the tonic chord. So it's more conventional or more normal for a tune to start on the tonic chord, but that's perhaps what makes this tune a little bit interesting. Okay, so we'll start with the A7 chord. So you're holding that one, and the strum is simply, so that's one bar. So it's just your thumb on the fifth string, index on the treble strings, then thumb to the sixth string, and then another. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one bar. With the D chord, it's exactly the same, except that the bass notes are on different strings. So the first choice bass note is D, which is on the fourth string, and then the second choice is A on the fifth string. So that's one bar of the D chord. Then the G, the bass note, the first choice bass note is on the sixth string, and the second choice bass note is on the fourth string open. So you get, well, that was two bars, but anyway, that's one bar. So putting that in the context of the song, I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tide that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I find it very, very easy to be true. I find myself alone in days through. I'll admit that I'm a fool for you. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Okay, so obviously I don't know this song all that well, but that's good enough for a quick demo of those basic guitar techniques.